right. Welcome everybody to what we're calling the Goals and Glory show here. I don't have my foos this week with me, but I have a very special guest in his absence. With us today is Emily Eitzman. I'm going to introduce her and her awesome bio right now, but away from the bio, she played for me for 2 years at the University of Michigan club team. She is doing incredible work in and out of sports, and certainly and my dog is also going crazy right now, so we'll deal with that a little bit. But um, in and outside the world of sports, really philanthropic work, and yeah, we're just really impressed and proud of all the stuff that Emily has done, and it's really relevant to our audience and the work that we do with mental health and using sport and just the crossover of sport and adversity in a lot of ways, right? So, this podcast is to discuss topics, but it's also, as you see, to feature people that we think are really special and talented and deserve to be recognized, but also to promote the work that they're doing. We'll also discuss sports performance topics and mental health topics. But this week, yes, Emily will be our feature. So a little bit about Emily, and then I'm going to hand it over here. But Emily is the vice president of the Mighty Oak Project, which is the nonprofit branch of Ann Arbor FC, the local professional soccer club here in Ann Arbor. She wrote a book, I think it's a children's book, right, called Grandpa's Advice. Founder of Raising Good People, which was about a nonprofit she started her freshman year focused on increasing diverse representation in children's books. She's the director of the collegiate development for the United States Amputee Football Federation. She's the founder of the Amputee Soccer program and team. She's the community outreach coordinator for the Adaptive Sports and Fitness student group. She's the communications director for CLR Academy, a local sports program for some of our local communities that does amazing work. She can speak a little more on that. She played for Ann Arbor FC, our local women's professional team. And like I said, she played for the University of Michigan women's club soccer team for me. And then this past year, as a fifth year, gaining All-American status while also going to take them to the Final Four at the NCAA tournament for club soccer. She scholastically is at and finished her bachelor's in neuroscience. She's doing a 1-year master program at Ross School of Business, and she will be beginning med school after her master's. Just a little bit of some things to do. But yeah, welcome, Emily.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's nice to catch up too.
Yeah, for sure. And it was bittersweet, as we talked about, not being able to watch and see you play as
Mhm.
much this year, but excited to hear that you'll still be playing and looking to play still some semi-pro and pro maybe this summer for Ann Arbor FC.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm excited.
Awesome. And so, talk to me a little bit about this past season. I know, or actually just really your whole journey, kind of, in the Michigan women's club team, from kind of where you guys started out when you got there to taking them to the Final Four your fifth year.
Yeah, so yeah, I definitely have loved all my seasons with the club team here, and I'm super grateful for, all the coaches that I've had, my teammates. When I first joined the University of Michigan my freshman year, we didn't have a season for club due to the COVID pandemic. So that was definitely a big transition for me, just going from playing, really competitive soccer throughout my life and throughout high school to not having a team at all. That was definitely a huge mental adjustment there. But I got through that, and then sophomore year, I had my first season with the club team. It was good. It was definitely a rebuilding year for the club, given we had taken that season off. So we didn't make it past regionals that year. Definitely wasn't, the best that the club has done historically. But since then, my junior and senior year, we made it through regionals and to nationals both years. Trying to remember exactly where. I think it was like Sweet 16 junior year, Elite Eight senior year.
Oh, way around Elite Eight,
What was that?
Elite Eight junior year,
Oh,
Sweet
other way.
16 senior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we made it to those rounds, and then this past year, as a master's student, I've made it to the Final Four. So it's ups and downs, but we've gotten really we just keep getting farther and just improving the team. And it's been so much fun being there to see the team grow from kind of how we started when I joined to where we are now. And again, like all the coaches that I've had, and all of my teammates are have been such a huge part in this, rebuilding phase, I guess, for the club. And yeah, I've really loved being a part of this team.
Yeah, it's really, and I know I'm a bit biased and have some insider information because I was there for 2 seasons with you guys, but it really is a family vibe and the
Yeah.
friend group that you guys create. But you know, do some cool programs and stuff as well, and in the community. But also, when I got there and understood the story about one of our players' sisters and former teammates who had passed away in a real tragic accident, and we always obviously wore the initials on our wrists during games, but um, you know, I was not there for that. I obviously kind of inherited in the team that cared deeply about it. But what was your experience with that, and how either it made the team stronger or they used the team to help each other through? What do you think on that?
Yeah, yeah. So I also wasn't there for, the years that that happened as well. But yeah, I mean, I think yeah, we wrote the initials on our wrists. We had an annual not annual. I think it was like each semester actually we have like this tournament, the EVS tournament, where we all get together, bring different communities and groups from the university and we play 7v7 soccer and raise some money for her nonprofit as well. And yeah, that definitely is a huge part of the club, and just means so much to us and is really important. So that's definitely been a huge part of my experience with the club is honoring her and her family and Megan, one of our teammates as well, her sister, getting to play with her and just be a support for all of them. That's definitely been a huge part of the club. And again, like we do consider ourselves a family, so that's it's important for us to honor our family. So that was a really impactful, part of our seasons.
For sure, for sure. Um, well, it's something that I know you left the program in a really good place, and kind of summarizing all this, it was special to watch your resilience individually, and I know, and seeing you go from a player who deserved all the shine to kind of got the shine finally, but also, like I said, left the program in a really good place and can kind of remember your legacy there. Um, so yeah, I know we could talk about soccer all day, and that it will weave into the story more, I'm sure. But let's get into a little bit of more what we're talking about today and some of the work you're doing. That while it might relate to soccer, it's bigger than the game, which is kind of what brought us to this podcast today. So, talk to me a little bit more in depth about, I guess, the projects you're mostly passionate and focused on right now.
Yeah, so over the years, I've gotten involved in a number of different things. A lot of the groups and organizations I'm a part of use sports to, help people of different communities and bring people together. And yeah, those are kind of some of my favorite activities to get involved in just because I know sports, the impact that it's had on my life. I know it's a really big impact, and so I just want everyone to have access to sports if they choose to play. I want everyone to have the opportunity to try it out. So, some of the things I'm involved in relating to that are CLR Academy. I've been involved with that since I think I was a freshman in college or maybe my sophomore year. But we go out to different communities surrounding Ann Arbor, like Ypsilanti. We've been to like Detroit, some areas in Ann Arbor, things like that. And we go and bring sports to these kids in these communities who don't have access to as many resources as kids in some other communities. So we teach them soccer, basketball, and football. Those are the primary sports we usually play. And then we also bring in people to talk about nutrition. We bring them books. I brought the wheelchair basketball team one time to kind of so all the kids got to play wheelchair basketball. So we're just bringing them all these cool, break dancing, art, bringing them all these things just to show them what's out there and just provide them with opportunities to try as much as they can. That's been a really big part of my life. And then more recently, I think about 3 years ago, I got involved with adaptive sports. So, sports that are accessible to people with and without disabilities. And that's become a really, really big part of my life. Getting involved with the Michigan's adaptive sports program has been really awesome. I became director of collegiate development for the United States Amputee Football Federation. It's a group that some friends and I created when I was down in Texas for nationals. Actually, we got
Yeah,
together
I
we
remember
got
that.
together, yeah, got together for dinner and we just, saw some ways that we could really help develop the sport and make more progress. So we created that group.
Is that
So
what took you to the World Cup?
yes, yeah. So yeah, I went with the United States Amputee Football Federation, or USOF for short. We were invited by FIFA to go to the Women's World Cup in Australia and do some amputee soccer demonstrations. So I went down there for like a week, and that was a really incredible experience. Just, seeing all these different people come and, see us playing and like, oh, like what's that? And then they'd come over and play, and they'd have so much fun. And we were just able, that was obviously, being at the World Cup, a huge way for us to reach a lot of different people and a lot of soccer fans. So, yeah, just so many incredible experiences helping to bring sports to people in areas where maybe there's a little bit of a lack of access and things like that. So it's been so much fun, and I definitely love everything I've been a part of.
Yeah. So tell me more about what you're doing now. I mean, I see the
Yeah.
videos of you guys playing locally. I know our new coach with the women's club team and some of the players have all gotten involved. You're in charge of spreading this to different campuses in Michigan, and nationally. Where else are we trying to go with this now? What are you doing?
Yeah, so for USOF, we're basically just trying to increase opportunities for amputee soccer across the country. My role as director of collegiate development is to really focus that on universities. So being at the University of Michigan, this was actually a really great place for me to be to complete that mission because we have a standing adaptive sports program, which not every school has, and it's such a really, it's a fairly developed program. It's kind of new, but they already have so many established teams and just do such a great job. So having support from them was huge for me to be able to create the University of Michigan amputee soccer program. And then, of course, USOF supported this happening, helping me get crutches, helping me with figure out how to coach, things like that. So yeah, I've been running practices, doing some events. We do like halftime scrimmages. We did a halftime scrimmage at the men's club team game. AFC Ann Arbor, we did another halftime exhibition match there. Futsal, we just did a futsal event for the first time. We've just been continuously growing, getting more athletes, more volunteers. And yeah, I'm just hoping that we can continue to keep growing. And part of that growth is to also get into other local colleges so that we can do like scrimmages and games and things like that. I want to have that opportunity available for these athletes. So just recently connected with some other local or some other colleges in Michigan, and I'm hoping that I can help them to also offer amputee soccer to their participants within their adaptive sports fields there, and then we can, start having game scrimmages, doing more events like that. But yeah, and then, continuously expanding. We've also connected with some other colleges, um, in um, other states around the U.S. I've been focusing more mid area since I'm here, but yeah, it's been super great, and we're just hoping to continue to keep building.
Oh, it's so cool. And obviously I've been able to see it. So for people who haven't been able to see it, do you have what are the socials, what are the websites where people can see or support you?
Yeah, so we usually post pictures and such of our events on the University of Michigan Adaptive Sports Student Group Instagram. Um, and so I think the tagline is, or the username is ASF Students UMich. And then I also on my own website, if you just look up Michigan Empty Soccer or go to emilyeitzman.com.
Just to make sure everybody got it, they can see it at emilyeitzman.com, or if you Google UMich amputee soccer, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's super special. And so for folks that also, haven't seen that yet, Emily is literally enabling folks who are missing limbs or have other disabilities to play soccer, utilizing crutches and other ways. She's brought collegiate players and coaches to help. It's really been very impressive and special. And so, Emily, please let me know how I can help outside of just promoting it. I'd still love to come out too. But I will also be putting it in my newsletter for folks and promoting that through that avenue as well. But definitely check it out. And Emily, let us know how we can help and how I can volunteer other than obviously promoting it through this. Very, very special what you're doing for folks there. Seems like access to sport and what we know about sport to sure it can sometimes help. I mean, create adversity or trauma, but it can do so much for folks to heal, to come together, to grow, uh, to build purpose and identity back after tragedy. Um, Talk to me a little bit about that and how that obviously correlates with us chatting here and the books that you're now on your second book and have got the illustrations already kind of wrapped up. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, so yeah, in terms of sports kind of being an outlet, I've had like some injuries throughout my life, which, so I've just gotten a taste of being away from sports and, not being able to play. And I've experienced that impact on my mental health. So I just know that how much sports have meant to me to be able to play and things like that. So yeah, I'm just trying to increase those opportunities for anyone who wants to play. Obviously, not everyone's going to want to play sports, but I just want everyone, as many people as possible, to have the opportunity if they want to, because I know that having that outlet and that the experience to be on a team and things like that has been really impactful for me. So yeah, that's kind of like why I'm doing all this, and it's been really awesome. And the feedback from the participants has been really great. And just seeing that we really are making a big impact on their lives has really meant a lot. And sport as much as I can. Um, so yeah, those are adaptive sports and AMT soccer has been super important to me. Like you mentioned, I also kind of a tangent. I have written some children's books. I wrote one it was my freshman year of college. It's called Grandpa's Advice, and it was inspired by my grandpa and his life and everything I learned from him. It's really about living in the moment and being grateful for everything that you have. And then I also just wrote one. It's not yet published, but just finished the first like illustration phases. But it's also inspired by my grandpa, and it's about how growing up in India, when he didn't have a soccer ball, he would make it out of banana leaves. So it's kind of that story and being resilient if you want to do something. He wanted to play, so he found a way to do that. And a lot of people have similar stories like that. So that's kind of what that second book is about. But yeah, I love children's books and just being able to kind of share things with kids through literature. Um, so that's been another impactful part of my life.
Yeah, man, it hits on a lot of levels here for Goals and Glory because obviously we believe in narrative therapy and the power of writing to heal, but also to help inspire others who might be struggling. I as a athlete and coach and now therapist really value um, teaching kids these lessons at a young age before problems develop. So, I think that's fantastic. And you also, like we mentioned, are really going to have to talk to Mahfouz next time, or maybe we do another podcast together soon, the three of us, and soon your books will be ready and we can really promote them and show them and all that. But yeah, he's using kind of a similar platform and I think just sending really good messages to kids. And that's, I think, obviously we know why my food is important to us, but I think to anyone listening can see why Emily is a rock star to us in both her athleticism, but certainly more just the way she helps the community and is always trying to do work to better the world and make the world a better place, I suppose. So definitely wanted to have you on just to give you your flowers and kudos for all the great stuff you're doing in an awesome fifth year season. Definitely have you back and we'll discuss the children's books further and present them when they're here. We'll have you and Mahfouz chat more about that. But, mostly just grateful for the work you're doing and hopefully everyone else can really see how it resonates in terms of our mutual goals of increasing access to sport, utilizing sport to help people recover from and heal from things. And that leads me into my kind of last question, which is just tell us about med school. You haven't even mentioned med school. What do you kind of hope for your career in the future and everything you're going to do after?
Yeah, I graduated from Michigan, my undergrad, with a degree in neuroscience. And then I'm taking a year before med school And during this year, I'm doing the Master of Management at the Ross Business School, which has been super cool. I always wanted to kind of take some business classes and have that experience before going to med school. So that's been awesome. And then, yeah, this upcoming like June, July, I'm going to go to med school. And I'm super excited for that. That's always been a goal of mine, since I was, as long as I can remember, I've wanted to be a doctor. So that'll be super exciting. And yeah, I'm so excited to start that. So.
And is it, like, I mean, I'm a little ignorant to this at this point in the process, but like what type of meds, like what type of doctor you want to be? Is it working with kids? Is it brains? I mean, obviously neuroscience would make me think you're doing something with brains, but yeah, let me know.
Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely interested in the brain. So like neurosurgery and neurology, those are definitely of interest to me. Getting so involved with adaptive sports, I've also definitely become more interested in things like that and like neuromuscular disorders, just amputations, a lot of things like that. I'm not sure at all what kind of doctor
Yeah,
I'll be. There's a lot of things I'm interested. There's nothing that I'm really like, I definitely won't do that. Everything is kind of is interesting to me, so I'm just gonna kind of see what fits once I get to med school and have more experience with these things.
yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I think you've given us plenty to go with in terms of learning from you a little bit and things that we can get involved in and ways that we can support you. I would definitely say, yeah, look at all the material for us to work together in the future in terms of supporting your projects or once you get to med school and looking to help injured athletes. I think you're going to do a lot of incredible work, and we'll have room to support you through the foundation and other ways too. So, anything else for us, or that maybe I left off by racing us through this, or are we thinking we'll put the next one on the next podcast? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's most everything. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, it's no, I love coaching you on the field, but I think this was fun to just hear about all the great stuff you're doing off the field. I know it can be a little awkward. I'm certainly just getting used to this kind of like podcast interview format where I know if we were just talking at the field, it would be, you know, uh, just like any other day. But it can be awkward to talk about our accomplishments, but it's also really important to recognize and promote good work.
Mhm.
So not to embarrass you anymore, but very proud of you. Keep up the good work, and certainly let us know how we can support. And like I said, folks, you have her social, you have her website. If you need any questions or have any questions on how to help out, you can reach out to me too, and I can put you in contact. But yeah, we thank you so much for your time, Emily.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support.